So the book I'm doing now is Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night. So notice I said Batman, Santa Claus, not Batman versus Santa Claus. There is a very specific reason why it's not called that. And I'm gonna get into that why. So yes, this is Batman teaming up with Santa Claus. I'll be honest with you, the book was awesome. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So yeah,
Is this your
let's
book
get.
of the week?
I think so. I think it is my book of the week. So yeah, let's go to it. Okay, so the book starts off with Christmas carolers singing "Oh Holy Night," blah blah blah, whatever like that, and they get attacked by vampires. Yeah, and they get killed. So yeah, so Batman and Robin shows up, and Robin's just like, I guess people really don't like Christmas carolers, and Batman's like, Robin, don't say shit like that around other people other than me. you know. So they finally get there, investigate the crime scene, and they've been drained of their blood, and they see footprints on the ground that looks like Man Bat, but Robin is looking like, okay, yeah, they've got the footprint of Man Bat, but Man Bat doesn't drink blood. Batman, like, he doesn't drink blood, so obviously didn't do that. Meanwhile, the snowman is behind him, is glowing, and pops out the snowman, Zatanna, because Batman called in an expert on this because he realized when you start dealing with supernatural shit, call in the leggy supermodel. So yeah. And there you go. So she does her investigation like that, and she realized, okay, it wasn't Man Bat. These were the Drog. Now, if you know what the Drog is, then it means you obviously you have played God of War Ragnarok because that's where they come from. They're from Norse mythology. So yeah, they were like the level one henchmen. So basically, they almost where vampires come from. They were like the very first vampires in myth. They get attacked again by the Drog. Batman starts beating the shit out of them. One of them gets away. One of them captures Robin. Batman tries to grab him, tell him to get loose. And when he gets away, then the Drog gets stabbed by a wooden stake. And who stabs him? Santa Claus, riding Prancer. Yes, and he's like, well, Batman, I saved you again. And Batman's looking like, Chris, it's been a long time. And Robin's like, wait, is this who I think it is? And Batman's just like, okay, remember I used to tell all you Robins how I like traveled the world and the globe, trained to be Batman and stuff like that? He was one of my teachers. They were like, wait, what? Santa Claus trained you? Like, yes, he was one of my masters, my sensei, my sifu. He was all that shit. So, and he's just like, okay, and one of the tricks he taught me, I still use it today. So now everybody on the internet is like, what the fuck did Santa Claus teach Batman that he used to this day? Like the sneaking away shit, like the disappearing shit. Did he learn that from Santa Claus? So Santa Claus shows up and he knows everybody where they live. It's like Zantana Zatara from Fox, he says everybody. He ignores Robin, just walk past them. Okay, look, we got to go. We got to take these guys out. So Nightwing and Batgirl get attacked by vampires or Drog, whatever you want to call it. And that's when Santa Claus shows up and start ripping them apart and shit like that with Prancer's wooden horns and shit, just tear them apart. And he knows Dick Grayson, knows where he's from, knows where he's good or bad, all this shit like that. And they fly in, and then Zatanna does a spell and just kind of like wishes them away to like a daylight time where they can't survive in the daylight, and the rest of them fly away. And Batman's like, "Don't worry, just like you trained me, Santa Claus, I tag one of them." So Batman and Santa Claus go to talk about what's going on, like where these people came from. And Robin's like, "Okay, why is Santa Claus an asshole? you know, is he supposed to be nice to kids?" And Zatanna is telling them the origin of Santa Claus. Many people call him by many names: Santa Claus, Kris Kringle, Santa Claus, Father Christmas. But here's the real story. So he was this woodsman, but then monsters from Asgard to drop down to Earth and attack Earth just like that. So the Asgardians would send their best warriors and go on a wild hunt to hunt down the Asgardian monsters that was attacking the Earth. And notice there's lightning in the back because they're saying maybe another Asgardian hero joined in with them. I'm not naming names, maybe. But Santa Claus always hunted this one particular monster called the Krampus. He always went after the Krampus. But the Krampus actually wasn't even really evil. All he wanted to do was just scare children. That's all. Didn't eat them, didn't attack them like that, just scare children. That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah, Krampus. That's what Krampus does. Yeah.
That's what Krampus. I'm okay. So you know more about Krampus than I do. I've heard the name before, but never knew what a Krampus was. So yeah. So since Krampus didn't kill people, Santa Claus didn't kill Krampus. He's like, I'm gonna just capture you and just take you back to Swarvelheim, the Dark World. He's gonna take you back there. So he really back, take back to Dark World. All of a sudden, the Bifrost Bridge collapses. Maybe Ragnarok, maybe Wotan or Odin, as you would like to call him. Maybe he forgot them or just decided to abandon them. Whatever it was, Santa Claus and Krampus got stuck on Earth, on Midgard, if you want to call it that. So they're there. So since they're there, they decided to just live on Earth for centuries, just be there. So Krampus would always scare children. And to Santa Claus, to apologize for him, since Krampus was always with him, he made the kids toys to make up for what Krampus did. And that's the story. And Santa Claus was like, shut that shit up. I ain't doing any of that. And he was just like, don't you have something to do later on tonight? Like Christmas? Nah, I ain't shit to do with that. That's nothing to do with me. That's something y'all made up. I'm just here to kill monsters. That's all I care about. And it was like, it must be Krampus. And he was like, Krampus is the hoods of that thing, the thing that you told me. So he's the one that's sending the drug after you, sending these evil vampires after you and attacking everybody. And that's when one of the drug like jumps out of him, and then a flower pops up and it's like a gift for you, 'tis the season. And that's when the flower spits poison on Zatanna. Reason because Krampus want to make sure he takes out Zatanna first. He didn't want a magic witch, coming after because it'd be too easy. And that's when he realized that he should have killed Krampus a long time ago, because Krampus is now sending all the demons that he didn't kill back on Earth. And he wants to take over Christmas to be his season. To be continued. Dun, dun, dun. So, yeah. So.
Oh, so this isn't a one shot.
This is not a one shot. There's another
okay.
story. Yeah, there's another story coming after this. So I don't think DC is going to give that story to us for free, but it's another one. So, yeah, Santa Claus, Demon Slayer, Train Batman, give it to me. I'm good. So, yeah. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It was a fun read. It was just fun, Christmassy. I'm glad they didn't do Santa Claus 'tis the season. No, I'm glad they made Santa like Blade, Demon Slayer bad. It's basically Violent Night, the same thing. He was like a Viking warrior that went, decided to redeem himself. But yeah, so that's what we got. So